Okay, Photoshop student, in this segment we're going to be basically learning how to select the area of the headlight. And we've already zoomed in on the headlight from the previous video. And what we're going to be doing is using the marquee tool to navigate around. If my computer would cooperate with me, I could show you that. So the marquee tool is the second tool down. This very top tool is called the move tool. Sometimes people call that selection tool, but in Photoshop it's affectionately called the move tool. And we're going to be using the marquee tool. Now if you click and hold down on the marquee tool, you'll see there are a couple varieties of how you can access the marquee tool and the options that it has. You'll notice that this M is the keyboard shortcut for selecting the marquee tool. So in order to show you that, I'm not going to click. I'm going to hold down an M and it will automatically select the marquee tool. Now what I want is the elliptical marquee tool. And I can still use the keyboard shortcut to do that. So what I can do is hold down M, and if I hit Shift M, it will toggle back and forth between elliptical and rectangular marquee, and I want elliptical marquee. So whenever I select elliptical marquee, what I want to do is I want to select this headlight area. So if I click and drag down, you'll notice that it is giving me the shape of an ellipse. But you got to be careful with this, because if I go too far out to the left or too high up, it will give me more of an oval or an ellipse. Of course, an oval as well as a perfect circle are both ellipses, or would it be ellipsi? I don't know. But what we want is a perfect circle to go around this headlight. So I'll show you another way we can do that here in a moment. So I've made a circle that looks like by eyeball range it's about the same size as the headlight, but unfortunately it's not where I want it. Well, what you can do is if I position my mouse right over the marching ant's edge of this ellipse, I can then drag the shape where I want it. Now you notice I didn't quite get it big enough. That's okay. So I'm going to now deselect that by going to select and deselect. So what I want to do this time is I want to use a skill that will allow me to select a perfect circle with the marquee tool. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to hold down Shift, and what it will allow me to do, you'll see I'm dragging out as well as up. Let me do this in an area you can see a little bit better. I'm just going to do it over here over the green so you can see it better. I'm going to hold down Shift, and you can see when I drag straight out as well as straight up that it is giving me a perfect circle, and that is exactly what I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this right over top of the headlight. I'm going to try to start dead center and drag straight out, and it's giving me a perfect circle. And then I can move it where I want it. It's still a little shy on size, so I'm going to redo that yet one more time because I want to get a little bit better size with that. If I hold down Alt and Shift, it might help with positioning. Alright, so that's still a little shy. I'm going to do it yet one more time. One more time, make that a little bigger this time. And that looks good. That's a little too big, but that's okay. We'll go with that. So that's basically showing you how to select the area. In the last part of this exercise, I'm going to show you how to change the adjustments of this, the colorization of this headlight. So we're now jumping over to roughly page 19 or so in your text. So we'll be doing that section in the last section of exercise 1.